Good morning, brothers. Excuse the blowfly buzzing around in the kitchen. I've been having coffee with my son Yona, and I've been having a father-son discussion on what, son? Actually, we can't really say it. Private stuff. He's over there. Yona is my son that I chose to be his dad when his mum and I broke up when he was 3, and I kept on being his dad. He's got also his biological dad here, and I draw no difference between him and my biological daughter. He feels just the same. There's no difference at all. And I haven't been the best dad, but I've done the best I could with the tools I've got. And we have a lot of transparency and openness and some really cool conversations. And this morning we've been talking about social media and the dangers of it. And it really is interesting how all the apps he was saying are going to where you've got to click through all the time. You can just keep on getting this dopamine fed to you. And he said now Instagram's the same as TikTok, and they're all doing the same thing. I didn't know that. I try to avoid that sort of stuff, although I do find myself occasionally getting scrolling and stuff, and it's just such a time waster. Anyway, this morning I want to read out your comments. Oops, sorry, we lost you there for a minute. That's not going to work. I'll have to hold the phone over here. I want to read your comments from the last few videos and just reflect on each comment that some of you guys have had. Scott Wilson. Scott has been a absolute huge support. I've met Scott. He's been a follower from my other channel for forever. He's been down. He's nearly crashed my houseboat. Him and his wife Iona have been very supportive. Iona's sent me socks she's knitted. Scott's one of those guys I put right up high there as total good bastard. And what I like about Scott is he stands in his truth. He's an honest man. Right, Scott says, time is all you need as you get older. You appreciate what time you have more as folks around you pass away. Having lost both my parents recently, I appreciate my time more than ever. It's a hard concept to ponder when you think about death, to no longer exist as a head fuck. Cheer, bro. It is a head fuck, isn't it? And this is the way that I look at it, Scott. I have no idea of all the billions of years before I was born. I've got no memory of any of it. I don't believe in past lives and all that stuff, although some people do, and that's fine, and maybe it does exist, but I don't believe in that. Because I have no memory of any of that. I don't remember anything before the day I probably was 3 is the last, my first memory. That was on my grandmother's back. No, actually 2, I was on her back. She was carrying me down the hospital ward. My brother was being born, so I would have been would have been 18 months old. That's my first memory of life. But anyway, I thought that was cool, and Scott's absolutely right. And I'm at the point now where both my parents are in their 80s, and that day is coming. Craig Perry. Craig, this is based on my video last night. I was feeling very melancholy. I was reflecting on stuff. He writes, if you were into astrology, you would understand it's the time the planet's Venus has gone retrograde. I don't know what that means, Craig. Feels like the planet is going backwards over the next 40 days. It's about feeling your feelings intensely, which covers things from your past, evaluation of now. What's important to you and how you're going to achieve things by living more mindfully. Quite complex subject, but that's the basics, mate. I'm suffering similar feelings and thoughts, so you're not on your own there. Cheers. Thanks for sharing that, Craig. I actually don't believe in all that stuff, but I'm open to learning about it and seeing why it does work. One thing I do know is someone who does a lot of fishing is the moon definitely operates what the fish are doing. I fish by the moon cycles sometimes, not all the time, and the Māori fishing calendar also works on that. So there is a correlation between the pull of the moon where it's in its orbit. So maybe you could take that further and say planets do affect us. I just don't know about it like I don't know about most things. So I'm open to it. Thanks for sharing. Selwyn, who's received the most hearts on this little tiny channel we have, which is getting slowly bigger. He goes, I can tell you're tired, my friend. You've been pumping for days. I have been. I've been chasing that dopamine hit, trying to catch another kingfish. Another thought-provoking video. Great stuff. Yes, one day I will sit down with my dad and reconnect. Just not ready yet. You and a lot of men are in that place right now. You and a lot of men saying, I need to have this discussion with my father, and I know that you will in the right time, but one of my things I would say to all of you men that want to have something with your father is, don't leave it too long, because people have a tendency of falling off the perch, popping their clogs, checking out, punching their ticket, dying. And it's very hard to work on stuff when people have done that. The living years are the times to address these things. Don't let it go on too long. Fear is what stops us from doing it. And I've had these talks with my father, and I had actually in my 30s, and I've had a good relationship ever since, and it was good. Duke. I gave him the Die, Survive or Thrive challenge. What 3 things would you take in the bush with you? He goes, my 3 choices would be a tent, sleeping bag, and a lighter, because I feel the cold. A lot of people can survive with just water for 30 days, and there's plenty of water in the southwestland. That's going to be an interesting one. Actually, Crispy's going to do that on this channel here. He's going to do the Take My 3 item challenge, which would be really, really good. This person here is talking about the conversation I had with Aoi, why Japan is doing so well during COVID. And their name is, I don't know how to say that, I'll show you just there, Lucretius, anyway. And excuse my piss poor reading. Things that are done without mandate. No idea if any of them help, but the numbers are so low, it's all good. Hand dryers and restrooms are all turned off. Oh, that's interesting. Transparent barriers between diners inside most restaurants. Oh, that's interesting too. This is must be Japan he's talking about. Oh, he's got a whole list of stuff there. Transparent barriers between cashier shops. Increased sanitation of touch areas in most buildings, and as well as public transport. Hand sanitizers in almost every shop building. Temperature taking at many places. That's probably not a bad idea, because temperature can show if you've got COVID. High touch surfaces already made from antibacterial surfaces. I'm not sure how they do that. Buildings, trains, buses and shops leave the doors and windows slightly ajar for airflow. Most air purifiers and air conditioners in Japan have that silver icon technology pre-COVID. So they already had that. Everyone wears masks in enclosed places. It's not really, they don't focus about it. Towel, wet tissue given to most of the time when you sit in a restaurant pre-COVID. So there's some interesting things that I didn't talk about in my video, on top of their natural thing. They don't do social kissing, and they don't shake hands. And the Japanese have got this COVID thing fucked by the looks of it, although they did suffer very badly when it first came out. So that's quite interesting, I thought. Okay, Pedro de Bandit, he's talking about the Die, Survive or Thrive challenge I put out. He goes, first thing that immediately came to mind also was the tarp. Without shelter, your energy expenditure during the nights would be massive. Absolutely right, mate. It's been my number 1 thing. Second, again, like you, a lighter, because I've tried the flint. Sorry about that. And I take the modern Bic lighter. Flint as a backup. It's always my kit. Third thing would be an EPIRB. Well, that would mean someone can come and get you. So that's not quite what it's about, but you would definitely. I'd say if you actually do this thing, I would say take an EPIRB as a 4th thing, but don't count it as a survival thing, because you need a backup, and I probably should mention that in that survival. If you're going to do that, take an EPIRB. What else we got? Pig Dog says, I'd take a supermarket, a bottle shop, and a Bunnings. Good on you, mate. Right, Deb Ramage, who follows the channel. Hi, Deb, and thanks for joining the Bro Check Club. We do have a woman watching us there. Thanks, Clay. Got a friendly bet with a mate as to whose tomatoes will be the best this Christmas. That's a good thing to have a friendly bet. I think one thing I like is cherry tomatoes. They're just so prolific, and they really do really well. Deb also comments in the 3-item challenge. She would take a tarp, Josh, and Clay. Comfy sleeping. Oh, the comfy sleeping bag. Sorry, just a girl. Okay, well, I'm buggered. Between Josh and me, good luck sleeping. I don't know if Josh actually snores. When I've been out with Josh James, when we did our missions, he took his swag and slept away from everybody. which is a good idea because you're guaranteed to have a good night's sleep. Crispy from Crispy's Adventure goes, that's an interesting one. I'd take a hatchet, a flint, a decent roll of paracord. Flint for fire, hatchet for building shelter, making weapons, chopping firewood, and general cutting. Paracord for lashing things and making tarps. I'm really looking forward to seeing his one. I'm going to scroll down a bit. I wouldn't take paracord. You can make it out of flax, and you can also make it out of quite a few other plants. I'd use superjack as well, but depends on what country he's going. He might be going country where he knows those things aren't there. Mad Kiwi goes, I'd take Josh James, clay, and a swag. Yeah, we'd probably have a lot of fun. I don't know if we would survive very well if we just took each other. We would, but it'd be cool. I really do want to do this. I really want to do this survival thing. I've been thinking about it and fantasizing about it. Okay, well, I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to talk about the video I did. Alison called me sexist. That was quite a well taken video. Maddie Rumpel goes, the only thing sexist was a comment. Hopefully she understands a bit more now. Thanks, buddy. Okay, going down again. Some of these comments are really, really interesting, and some of them I've had to read 3 or 4 times to understand. I'm going to go right down. Let me just pause for a moment, guys. I'll come straight back to you. Right, we just want to change arms for a bit because it was getting tired. So for your garden, Tui says liquid fish oil. That's not a bad idea because I put fish frames in the ground and I brought the rats in. Liquid garden mulch and bones. Yes, liquid. Way to go. Fishing boat charters teach students for cash how to look like me video is in strong. Crushed fish bone powder, best thing for hay fever. Snort that, really? No way. Really? Oh, okay. I'm not sure if I'd snort that. I've snorted quite a few things up my nose in the past. I didn't quite understand all that too, but thanks for the comment, mate. Didn't quite get it. Okay. I'm going to do a couple more, then we'll wind this up. Brendan Gillo is talking about, I don't know what the video was, be a fighter to achieve your objectives, I think it was. Nice catch, brother. Haven't caught any fish except stingrays. Nothing wrong with stingrays. You can eat them, as I have found out. The last 2 times I went out, failure leads to success. Well, it's true. Eventually, if you keep on keeping on, it happens, mate. Yeah, so good luck with your fishing. I hope you carry on. I'll do one more and we'll wind us up. I'll just go through one more random one from one of you guys. Thanks to Colin Price for all your comments on the site too, mate. I just can't actually find your... oh, here's one from Colin. Yeah, mate, time to have a break for yourself. You've been pretty well full on. It's time to wake up and not think about filming or editing. Just get up and do whatever you want to do. Have a break and recharge. Thanks a lot, Colin. The trouble is that creating stuff, whether it's music or video or painting or anything, building something, it's the sap that runs through my tree. That's what charges me, and that's what I love. So I've actually left my camera behind. I went hunting with Kim Swan. I decided I'm going to leave everything behind and go hunting and see how it is. And I was miserable. We caught a pig, and I thought, fuck, that would have been so good to get on film. And I got home, and I thought, geez, I've got nothing to look back on it. And it's really difficult for me to leave everything behind and not consider making content because I get such a buzz. Point in hand would be the kingfish I caught recently. I had 2 cameras rolling and I filmed that, and I still look at that there, and when I can't catch a kingfish, and I've been trying, I still look at that and I get a huge rush out of it. So for me, it's actually it's a fun thing to recapture it and relive it. I can do it in my imagination too, but it's never quite the same as the whole thing. Healthy, unhealthy, dunno. It's just who I am. Anyway, that was some of your comments. Let me know if this type of video is of any benefit to you, enjoy it. And if so, I'll comment on your comments on the channel because I enjoy doing it and reading them. And I learn something from you guys too and about you guys. Have a great day. I am going to tear into the day now. I've had my morning coffee. It's time to go do some work. Go steady. See you later. Oh, and check on yourself and check on a brother. See ya.